You're back on Remarkable Regional Business, and this is part 2 of my conversation with Louise Hopwood from LouFit Personal Training. If you've loved the first part of this episode, then you're going to love the next bit even more. So without any further ado, let's take it away. You said you spent a bit of time in hospitality and then in administration, in a medical practice. What skills and what kind of industry knowledge have you brought from those couple of things into your operation now that has helped it succeed?
Time management.
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah. I was within hospitality. I was management level.
Yeah.
So there was a certain element of working with people.
Yeah.
Working with teams, etc. But, I don't know, it's tricky. I studied hospitality management at William Angliss, so we did all aspects of, business management, marketing and things like that.
Right.
But I still say to this day, 15 years down the track, I don't know how to run a business. Like, nobody taught me how to run a business.
Yeah.
My dad had his own business, but we don't know what we don't know, and you learn along the way. You make some mistakes along the way, and then but I'm always of the mindset you've got to try it.
Yep.
It might not work.
Yep.
But I'm always one to say yes for something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You give me an idea, I'll give it a crack.
Yeah.
I
love that. It's one of the things you've got to have as a self-starter, right? If you're going to run the show and you're going to make something happen, you've got to be able to just roll with your ideas and the ones that
exactly. Yep.
Talk to me about sustainability. So I know specifically in personal training, it's an industry that people can get burnt out in pretty easily. I've seen it happen, and some of them have got all energetic about the accessibility of being able to jump in and do that work, and they love fitness. But you're 15 years in. How have you managed to sustain the energy, and not just the energy to do the work, but to run a business and do the work?
Yeah. So personal trainers have a life expectancy of 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's early mornings and it's late nights and you're working when everyone else is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like chefs.
Exactly. Hospitality, see, side by side. Yeah, it's a tricky one because the hours are big and I obviously like training, so I like to train myself.
Yeah.
If I'm training for an event or something like that, I have to do that as well. And I have a family. So I will openly say that I never quite have the balance right. But over the last couple of years, I've worked out that I can't exercise myself every day.
Yeah.
And then run 10 sessions a day, because in some of those sessions, I'm doing the whole session.
Yeah.
A spin class, for example, I'm doing the whole session. An aqua aerobic session, I'm on the side of the pool running the whole session.
Yeah.
So I have to take that into account that is part of my workouts,
yes.
But then I do my own workouts for my own mental health as an escape.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to remember that you have to support yourself with good people around you. I have a monthly myotherapist appointment, a fortnightly massage. I have now learnt that sleep is very, very important, and the more you can get of it, the better you are.
Yeah.
So it is about sort of protecting your own recovery. And yeah, look, as I said, I'm a person that doesn't say no to many things.
Yeah.
And I have to be reminded sometimes that you can't do everything.
Yeah.
And so it is important to sort of take a step back and think, okay, what can I realistically do? Like I do with my clients, what can I realistically fit in?
Yeah.
And yeah, at the weekends, I get to the weekends and it's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet. And I do really cherish my recovery, and I do all the recovery things, and I support myself with good nutrition and rest and hydration and all those things. And I think you have I've got to look after myself because it's me, you know, and if I'm not there, no one else is there.
Yeah. That was my next question, right? So often a founder of a business owner is incredibly good at delivering the thing. And there's often a crossroads where you go, am I going to step into a business management, business leadership growth area, or am I going to optimize things so that I can just be more of the genius operator, right? And so how have you managed that? And did you ever feel like you're in a crossroads where you had to lean into the business being you, delivering the services? You are what people come for and are motivated by. Or did you ever consider thinking, should I go down the management track and get people in to do the thing?
Yeah, look, I've had staff, instructors, fitness instructors, and it was only something that I came about last year. I traveled to Italy and lived in Italy for 3 months and ran my business from there.
Wow.
And I had instructors live in the studio with the crew.
Yeah.
And then I would Zoom in and instruct some classes also with them all in the studio.
Nice.
And when I was over there, I thought, okay, everything's ticking along. You know, they're all surviving there without me.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. Ultimately, when you run a business, I feel like you want the business to be able to run without you there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, this is great. When I get back, I'm not going to do any group classes. So I'm not going to work in the morning and I'm not going to work in the nighttime so I can have breakfast with my kids and dinner with my kids.
Yep.
And I'll work through the day, all my personal training clients during the day, my daytime classes. And then I got back and I was like, I love teaching classes. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I love to be there.
Yep.
I love the vibe. I love the client interaction. I love teaching classes.
Yeah.
So while I think there's a lot to do to work on your business, I love being in my business.
Yeah.
So I'm still super, super passionate about it and I still love it like I loved it 15 years ago and I love it just as much now.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing to be able to say, right? And it's often the decision-making process that a business owner needs to go through. Where do I fit in this business and where do I want to fit? But that's the option and the opportunity that we have, right? Is go, where do I actually want to fit in this business? Because if you love running the classes, you love being there, that's your zone of genius.
Exactly.
Then it becomes, who do I need to support me so I can do more of that?
Exactly. And that's something that I just always thought I can do everything. I can do the bookkeeping, I can do the marketing, I can do the, behind the scenes, I can do the cleaning, I can do the everything. Until I thought, okay, that's great, but I want to be able to scale.
Yep.
And to scale, you need manpower.
Yeah.
And so I invested in a business mentor and she talks heavily about the zone of genius.
Yeah.
If bookkeeping is not your thing and you spend 15 hours a week doing it, that's 15 hours a week that you're not doing the things that you love and the things that move the needle, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get somebody else to do that and they take 5 hours.
Yep.
So you're actually saving yourself some money.
Yeah. Yep.
And so it's about getting the right people that love doing the bookkeeping or love doing the marketing, whatever it may be, to do that.
Yeah.
And keep me doing the things that I do and love doing and want to be doing.
Yep.
So you've got to have the right team around you.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
I love that. Tell me, when you're looking back, what are some of the things that have happened or some of the experiences you've had in business that you can, hang your hat on and say, that was like one of my proudest moments?
Oh, that's an interesting one. One of my proudest moments.
Well, something you can look at and go, that is success to me.
I don't know. I love the success stories from my clients and they're not success in the shape of how much they can lift or how high they can jump or anything like that. It's the little conversations that I hear in the gym between clients, or it's the text messages that I get from people, from clients. Like just small things like, oh, I can hold my new grandson for an hour. Like I never used to be able to do that.
Wow.
Or I can still live independently at 81 because I've come to the gym for the last 15 years twice a week.
Wow.
And I can still cart wood and I can still rake the leaves and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Some people, just even getting out the door is tricky. And people in regional areas live with a lot of social isolation.
Yep.
And to get them out the door to an exercise class and frequently coming because they feel that sense of community around them, but they also feel so much better physically and mentally.
Yeah.
That's the things I look at and go, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Because people get the everyday benefits. As I said, I'm not about how heavy you can lift or, if you can bench press more than that one, it does not interest me. I'm the everyday kind of guy, I just want you to be able to do things that you want to do every day in, day out for however long.
Love that. In a regional area, and you've mentioned a connection with one of my favorite guests on this podcast, Nathan. If you ever listen to this, you're up there, mate. How important in a regional area is partnerships and connection with other businesses or organisations? Tell me how you've kind of experienced that.
Yeah, I think it's important to collaborate with people, and collaborate is probably a bit of a buzzword of the last maybe 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not about being in competition with anyone. It's working together to help each other and to get more exposure for each other.
Yep.
And, I might introduce my clients to a company that they never knew about or a business or something that they needed that they didn't know that they needed.
Yeah.
Like some oysters or some ginger or something like that.
Yeah.
Collaborating with businesses like that it's just creating community.
Yeah.
I think it's great to be able to help each other out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Running a business is hard.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
No.
People think running your own business is, sitting in a coffee shop or, you don't really do very much. People say to me, you jump around all day and then you sit in the coffee shop, and I'm like, it's actually not quite like that.
You jump around all day.
So running a business is hard and it's isolating, especially if you're a sole trader.
Yeah.
And so it's great to work with other businesses and not only support them from a business sense, but from a entrepreneurial basis, I suppose.
Yeah. Someone you can relate to and connect with, and that's what I hope to, in part, to achieve with this podcast. Right, is you're able to connect and hear from people's experience that you can, in some senses, relate to, and then in other senses, you go, oh, how they think about this is really interesting. How they've approached this, how they've solved this challenge is really interesting. Maybe I could weave some of that in because, it's often said it's pretty lonely at the top, right? And within your organization, you don't often have any peers and as a leader. And so, and especially in rural and regional areas, that pool is even smaller.
Yeah. And you can always learn something.
Yep.
And that's why, I love going to conferences and to expos and, like my business mentors group days.
Yeah.
To sit in a room of other like-minded people, business people, people that are striving to be the best that they can be in their industry. I just walk away with just so much, I don't know, not just motivation, but confidence and insight that everybody else is doing the same thing.
Yep.
And every business has seasons, ups, downs. It's how you can ride them out. You learn from other people, what they do, how they do it, or what you can implement, what like you were just saying. So I don't think there's ever a negative side into collaborating with other businesses or that support network.
Yeah, totally. What would you say is, you're looking back across your journey, what would you pull out as a couple of keys? And you've probably mentioned a few of them throughout the episode, but what are some keys to business success that you can look back and go, this is what I've learned, this is what I've experienced, and this has helped me be really successful?
I think always being open to learn. And to not really make yourself better, but improve on the skills that you've got.
Yeah.
And that may be just specific to your field, but it could be specific to your own personal growth that is going to be reflected through your business.
Yep.
So I think always learning is really important.
What does learning look like for you? You mentioned a business mentor.
So I've done a business mentor program for, the last 12 or 18 months.
Yeah.
And so there is that, but there's also, different conferences that I'll go to learn a new format or a new class or a new whatever it may be. And, you may know quite a lot of the stuff, but there's always going to be snippets you don't know or different ways to look at it, It's like when I go on holidays, I always go to somebody else's gym class, because I want to be able to see how they run their class, maybe how to do it or not do it. That's okay.
Yeah.
Or what I can take away to bring to my crew.
Yeah.
So there's always opportunities to find something else you can add to make yourself better or your business better or how things run better.
Yeah.
I think, always being open to learning is a big success.
Huge. That's a big one.
Yeah. And what else has been a sort of a key to success? I probably touched on it before, but just being you, and authenticity. And you just have to show some compassion and, be a good human.
Yeah.
Yeah. And be real with people.
Yeah.
Be real with people. Be considerate, as I said, I have a large cross-section of people and ages, and everybody is at a different age and a different stage in life. And, some weeks I can tell that, like life is hard this week for some people. And as soon as they walk in the door, I know today is not the day to say, we're going to go to those 12 kilo weights, or you're going to, do this or run that or whatever. Today's not the day.
Yeah.
And I think that too probably is a pretty good. I had lunch with a client just last week. She said, you're really good at reading somebody.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that is a bit of a skill.
Yeah.
You know when to push.
Yep.
But you know when to go, no, that's not today.
Yeah.
You know, so reading people so that they get what they need to get.
Yep.
And if that's a walk on the treadmill for half an hour and they're just spilling what's gone on for the week and having a chat.
Yep.
And that's what they need.
Yep.
That's what they get. And they walk out a lot lighter because of it.
Yep.
Yes,
it's like you don't have a session on the couch, you have a session on the treadmill.
On the treadmill, yeah, exactly. It's always beneficial.
Too, right. Yeah, and it's quite fascinating. Gyms can be that, right? It's somewhere you go in every stage of your life. It's somewhere you're going to show up, whether you should be, if you're doing it right, you should be consistent and able to show up when you're not doing well, or you're feeling on top of the world.
On the days you don't want to be there, they're the most important days.
Yeah. And the fact that you are there consistently means that, the trainer, you can know you, get to know you.
Yeah. Building a rapport.
Yeah, just walk with you through life in some of the ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's amazing the cross-section that you can see, you will have seen of people over 15 years to just see that cross-section of their life and to have a place in that. Yeah. It's pretty special.
Yeah, and it's creating that safe place. Like I've seen people through some incredible things in their life. And, just COVID alone, people said, if I didn't have the gym, like, I don't know where we would have ended, it was just normality for people, and it was consistency, and it was knowing that there was someone on the other side of the screen they could talk to, and there was like another 15 faces on there. It was the interaction. It was that type of thing. But it's down to, you know, like I have another client that's, you know, kids got sick, and I was like the second person that they called. I can't believe this. You know, they're in hospital. What am I going to do? You know, how's this going to play out? And at the end of the day, it's probably just it's an ear, someone to listen to, you know. So you do see people through all kinds of stages of life, you know, which is amazing. Yeah.
Quite the honour.
Yeah.
I love it. You're 15 years in, you're running a thriving little studio in a regional area. What's next for Lou and LouFit?
Well, I can't reveal all my deepest, darkest secrets. What else is in the chest to come? But I don't know. My children are getting a bit older, so that creates some different challenges because they need you around to taxi them around a bit more now, sport and things like that.
Yeah.
And as I get older, I really want to run the business. I don't want the business to run me.
Yeah.
And it ebbs and flows like that.
Yeah.
And I think probably every business owner feels like that. At some times, the business is running them, you know, like it's 24/7.
Yeah.
And I just want to have a business that that I run and it works for me while offering the most and the best service and place that I can for our community.
Yeah.
And as I said, I'm always looking for ways and things that our community need. You know, I'm 2 years into aquarobics instructing. We don't have a year-round swimming facility, so we have it for 4 months of the year. So 4 months of the year we make the most of our time in the swimming pool, you know. And it's just looking for, you know, what other things that a regional town needs. As I said, we don't have everything that big cities have. So we have to make the most of it, and we have to do what we can when we can with what we can, you know. And so I'm still going to be a really large part of the community because I love doing that. And I think it's really important, and it's just about, you know, having a place for every age and every stage of life for anyone, whoever you are.
Love that. If someone wants to get in touch, follow, see a bit of a window into what you're doing and how you're doing it, what's the best way to connect with you? Yeah,
so you can train with me from anywhere. As I said, I still train virtual Monday to Friday as well as live, and I'm in the classes with you. Nothing is recorded, so I'm checking technique and cheering you on.
Yes.
And so I'm on the social media channels, you know, Instagram, Facebook. You can check everything out on Instagram. There's some crazy reels and some dancing PTs and some all kinds of crazy things.
I bet.
But look, it just is a really good snapshot of what our community is all about and the cross-section of people we have and abilities and ages, and that's probably the best place to find us.
Instagram, what's your handle?
Instagram, LouFit_PT.
Rockin'.
Yeah.
Louise, thank you so much for spending the time with me in the studio. I appreciate you tripping in to get this laid down and sharing your journey, your wisdom, and how you've built a thriving gym in a regional centre in Mansfield. You're doing wonderful things over there, so I appreciate you sharing it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, that's it on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you are listening, then please make sure that you follow the show, Remarkable Regional Business Podcast, so that you get new updates on when we release episodes. We've got a lot of limited series coming up, so don't miss out on those. And if you are watching, that's right, this podcast is video as well. If you are watching this episode, then please, on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the little bell so you know when the next episode is dropping. That'd be so good. And please, the last thing I want to ask you is, do you know a remarkable regional business? If you do, and you want an insight into their story and to see them platformed on this podcast, then please dob them in. You can go to hebronfilms.com/podcast to do that.